Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the McBiz radio program with our board operator, Mr. Frank Mezapel. How are you, Frank?
Great. It's good to see you. I see you. You're wearing your formal.
I know. I dressed up today.
Yes, very nice.
Some appointments. I can clean up pretty good.
Wow, I'm impressed.
White shirt. Yeah.
Nice. Well done.
And our guest today, Mr. Todd Harris. How are you, sir?
Welcome, everybody.
Let's try another.
Welcome, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a little bit cool this afternoon. Brought a old school windbreaker in.
That is old school windbreaker. That is true.
I love it.
The snaps you can always tell because they're the same color as the now.
I've got one in my office from my high school.
Oh my goodness.
Christian Brothers Academy in Jersey. Went there for 2 years. It was an interesting scholastic experience.
Scholastic experience. There's a good word for you. Right? I like that word.
Multisyllabic.
I like it.
I like that.
So, what do you guys want to talk about today? Like, we can talk about the weather. We can talk about the impeachment thing going on today. And we can talk about the license plates changing. We can talk about cartoons. We can talk about cars because Todd's here.
Well, I wanted to talk. I was asking Frank before the show started. You're in the moving business, is that correct?
I am.
Were you around before it was deregulated?
Yes.
Did it change a lot, and what were the effects?
It changed a lot. It didn't take effect in Florida all that much initially, because it used to be everyone used to have the same rates no matter who you went with. You could call Mayflower, United, North American. It's going to cost you the same no matter who you went with. So you had to go by what the salesman put you at ease and what is, that's not,
or ancillary promises,
right,
or whatever.
Right. But you're going to pay her the same no matter what. Then they opened it up to deregulation, and it was a wild, wild west for a long time. And it still kind of is as far as money goes. Florida took a long time to get on the bandwagon to offer the discounts. But now we're
I just would think it was when it was regulated. Yes, you were capped out, but you probably over the long haul, job to job, you consistently made the same margin.
It was better monetarily, absolutely.
I've read and heard that it was a better world.
It was. The movers were a little happy, or a lot.
The movers and the shakers.
Yes. Well, we didn't shake very much. Hopefully, we just moved a lot. So, but yeah, it was. But that was late 70s, I think.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah. We had just my family had just bought the business in, I think, the fall of 78, and we moved down in the summer of 78.
So you opened the business was down here, not Jersey.
Down here. My dad did not want to stay in the cold weather. He looked at franchise, moving companies, California and Florida, and chose Stewart because
glad you made a good choice.
Yeah, it was a great choice. They did very well.
And you couldn't have picked a better county.
No, it was great. And now this is our 41st. This will be almost our 42nd year coming in.
Wow.
So yeah, we've been around.
I bet you know how to move some heavy stuff.
Yeah,
because there are tricks.
There are tricks, and physics. Even though I never studied physics, it's like, okay, the lever is a very important tool in our business. Johnson bars and stuff, and now the equipment now is so much more advanced than it used to be. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, but it's just basically
you
need a couple of guys.
The straps that you put around you. That two people will lift up a washer or a desk with.
But basically, you just got guys who are hopefully careful.
And leverage, and you use it to your advantage.
Use your legs, not your back. Fortunately, knock on wood, I was even skinnier, back when I was 16 when my parents bought it, and I was working on the trucks back then. And
a big part of the moving industry, as far as I understand, is the storage as well, because you would be storing people's things in that time frame from when they were moving.
It used to be more prevalent for us back in the day before the proliferation of these self-storage units that are there now.
Right, because I can remember our family moving from New Jersey, Freehold, New Jersey.
Oh yeah, okay. I had a girlfriend in Freehold. Yep, I grew up.
Lived right around the corner from the racetrack.
I grew up in Middletown.
I used to ride my bike to the racetrack in Freehold, New Jersey.
Freehold's a nice little town.
But we moved there to Chicago, outside Chicago, and it was Allied moving vans moved us.
Chicago's big at Chicago. Allied's big in Chicago.
And everything was in these big wood boxes. And then I can remember it going into storage for at least a summer before we, the house wasn't built yet. So they stored it.
Moving, it's such an exciting business.
Yeah.
People are stressed out. all
As
the time.
I like to say, it's always a moving experience.
Yes, it is. It is. But you're in the car business, so that's changed a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Pre-computers, post-computers, post-sensors, and
I think the biggest thing is where everybody used to have a problem. Everybody had a problem with their car. And now it's pockets by model type and bad luck.
Right.
It was, if you owned a car in 1982, it was going to break always, and it wasn't just what brand it was going to break. Now you can have a model that may show nothing for 30 or 40,000 miles, and the only thing you have to do is put brakes on it and change the oil.
Yep.
Whereas in the older times, it was the repair side of the business was everybody had to have a car repaired. Now I still, to this day, will run into people that are shell-shocked when they find out that their car with 65,000 miles out of warranty is $2,600 to fix. That is like a game changer. They've just never heard of that big a number.
Right.
And being in the business, you see it all the time.
Yeah, that's not. It seems every time I take my car in for something, it's minimum. It's $600.
$600. That's the average repair, by the way.
Well,
national average, I believe, is 452.
It's never less than 6, and often at times it's more. But I don't happen too often, thankfully.
Thankfully, yeah.
But I can tell
you can't work on your cars anymore either, though. You need a
No.
computer degree and Star Trek equipment to diagnose the
You
phasers and the
And one of the biggest things is just getting to, whether it be changing the oil and filter. A lot of them have cartridges now that require a special tool to get to the cap to get it off. It's made out of a plastic that you can't just grab with a pair of pliers.
Yep.
And then when you're all done, many vehicles now you'll need a scan tool or some type of handheld computer to reset the light that comes on your dash. Not that you have to, but it's the convenience and the annoyance that the light is on that many times is what prompts people to even come in the first place.
Yep, it's like the blinking light on your car, your clock radio.
And the rite of passage of the seasons no longer exists with cars. When I lived up in the northern area of Illinois, outside Chicago, it was always every year you changed your coolant. Every winter or fall, you'd put your snow tires on. So there was a repetitive action that everybody had to do. Everyone that owned a car did that. Whereas now you can go years and years with just changing your oil. And for the most part, if you're lucky, that can be it.
Yeah.
You just don't get the mishaps that everybody had. Everybody had mishaps. It was just a common occurrence. The fan belt, for example. If you look at a fan belt, now it's a serpentine belt. That's a big, wide, durable, synthetic type rubber belt that lasts and lasts.
Mm-hmm.
In the old days, it was a cord belt that was made out of the same material as a bias ply tire that stretched like crazy, needed to be adjusted, made noises, and would come flying off if it became too loose. You don't see that now.
Lots of people could work on their cars in their driveway, though. Nowadays,
yes, it was simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have a flux capacitor and dilithium crystals and, all sorts of
Right.
phasers to figure out what's going on.
But both of us are part of the Martin County Business Exchange, which is coming to year end. And this is why the show exists, is we're both from Martin. All three of us are from the Martin County Business Exchange. And I think it's been a fabulous year. I think we had a great Christmas party. I think everybody enjoyed it. It's one of the things we do at the Martin County Business Exchange. If you remember, there's a close camaraderie between all the members, and every year we have a fabulous Christmas party. We had it over at the Stewart Yacht Corinthian Club, or I think I maybe said the wrong words in the order, but it was a beautiful place on the water. The food was usually delicious. I wouldn't call it the best, but I wouldn't call it the worst. I'd call it above average.
There you go.
Yeah, it was great.
I was otherwise engaged that evening. I could not make it, but
You were there the year before.
I think I was there I think the last time I was there was like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm usually kind of busy.
Somehow I saw you there, but maybe
It wasn't me.
No.
I haven't been in a while.
Okay, but it was a good showing, good time, and we do all kinds of activities during the year. We have weekly meetings. We have them on Wednesdays, and every type of business is in there. But one thing we do is every business is vetted. Every business is a quality local business that provides a service, whether it be a labor service or a product that they sell. And all of us are combined provide a complete package that's available to anyone here. And Martin County Stewart that's, looking for anything or any type, we generally, one of our members can fulfill the need, or we certainly know somebody that can. It's just a safe, secure business organization that's been around since, anyone know, Frank, how long has it been around?
80s.
Yeah.
80s, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
80s.
Yep.
And the word I say is it's vetted. Everyone in there is quality stuff.
Yeah.
You're safe.
How they let me in there, I'm still
I
trying to
know,
figure
Frank,
out.
we're still trying
you
to
slip
figure
through
it
the
out.
cracks somehow.
I don't know. But
Yeah, but it's a good crowd. It's a good group of people, and I've enjoyed being a member for quite a long time.
and I think sometimes as a member, we just people that are listening today, they could be new here in town, and it could be retired folks, it could be young folks, either or. What a group we are, and you really need to go.
Well, yeah,
we need to go
in more
no
ways than one.
You need to go no further than the Martin County Business Exchange. If you're coming into a town that you're new to, yeah, you've got the internet, yeah, you've got Yelp, yeah, you've got Google reviews, but there's nothing better to know that there's one organization that has quality people all the way through, whether it be a plumber, whether it be an air conditioning installer. And in fact, in-house today, as we were talking, we've got a quality moving company here in Jensen. You're in Jensen? Stewart.
Yep. Right on Dixie Highway, a couple blocks south of Indian Street. Been there. It was there in the 60s before my family bought it. So
Wow.
that it's the same buildings have been doing that since I think the early 60s, I believe. And we got it in 78. So it's been a while.
You go far, and you ever go out to California with a load of goods?
Oh, not my local trucks. No, my local trucks stay within the state of Florida, but because we're a part of the Allied system,
you're Allied too.
We're an Allied agent, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was the one I had spoken
So
about.
we can move anything, any place on the planet.
I believe it was the symbol. The old symbol was orange. I believe it had a 1, like it was an interstate sign, and it looked like a road.
Yep. Pretty much.
Parallel road.
It's changed a little bit, but yes, it's still we're the big orange trucks out there.
So
big
you
safety
work in
orange trucks.
unison with other.
Yeah, there's a network of agents throughout the country and throughout the world. And if you want to move from here to California, my local guys will pack it and prep it, and then a guy who runs east-west will put it on his truck and take it over.
Sectioned out. Then that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's a good system. It's a good system.
But that's just one of the many.
Got a car guy.
I'm a car guy. I own Crown Car Care. We have 2 locations in Martin County. We have one in Stewart off Cove Road that Frank, you've been to, and you've also been to my Palm City location. We have a location there. We've been in business 14 years. Big news is that we just bought a real good, well, it's brand new from Hunter Alignment, a alignment machine that's probably the best in town. It's brand spanking new. I've only owned it a week and a half. Quality material. It does alignments, infinitesimally small to the smallest degree in minute in terms of how the wheels in the front and the back are positioned to each other. And it's so critical today on all new cars. And we have the ability to do that. And we just upgraded one of our other pieces of equipment and got about $50,000. So it was a, fair, substantial investment, but well worth it. Because in my business, you have to have it. I know we were talking earlier about the equipment that you need. It's what you have to have. You can't not have it.
Got to have microphones.
Yeah, microphones, right? If you didn't have now, if microphones cost half a year's gross income for this radio station, you'd still have to have it.
Right.
Because if you didn't have it, you wouldn't have a radio station.
Right.
And in my business, what's really separating the wheat from the chaff is the investment that's required to stay current. If you don't want to stay current, you can coast, but there's going to be a point where you become irrelevant. And when you become irrelevant, that's the day that you have to hang up your horseshoes and put your saddle back in the tack room and run. So I stay relevant in my business.
Here we
just had one of our
Speaking
accounting. We just had Mark walk in. He's with the accounting part of our business group, and he does a fine job as a CPA. His office is just above our radio station. What a great guy he is.
Came to check on us, make sure.
He came to check on us. So I saw him as I came in. I saw him going up. It's his building, by the way. We're in.
Did you pay the rent?
That's right. He was here for a rent.
Did he come to collect the rent?
Be because of that, yeah.
It's the beginning of the month, so
yeah.
I don't know, Frank. You have something for me to read, I see.
I do indeed.
It's the
Fire
news,
away.
It's the News Minute. So here we go. The News Minute for Wednesday, December 18th. Tomorrow night, the newly incorporated village of Indiantown will take the final step in creating its own comprehensive growth management plan. At a special meeting of the village council, the second and final public hearing required to authorize the comp plan as the village's official policy toward growth takes place. It protects wetlands, preserves rare upland habitat, and keeps the 4-story height limit that has become entrenched in Martin County. At the same time, it encourages growth in light manufacturing, heavy industrial uses, and retail enterprises to address Indiantown's need for jobs. The central core of the village will be developed as a mixed-use walkable town center. Its first approved development in the village core is a 9-unit live-work apartment complex, 3 units of which will house businesses such as artist studios, cool, accountants, and other small businesses in the front, with living quarters in the rear of those units. The state requires a comp plan be adopted within 3 years of incorporation. Indiantown incorporated 2 years ago this month. This news minute is brought to our WSTU 1450 radio audience by Martin County Currents.
That's big news. I've known about this. I'm a member of the Treasure Coast Building Association, and this is a green light with quality growth for Martin County.
It sounds.
It's a green light, but it's quality. It's people put thought into it. They're structuring it so it's just right. And when you structure something that's just right, when you put thought into it, the brownies come out delicious.
I do like brownies.
Yep, and when they
Who doesn't like
good,
brownies?
And when they taste good, you know you did it right. And I can say with Martin County and this proposal, it's passed now, I guess, the growth plan that they're doing out in Indiantown is just going to be fabulous for the county in general.
From reading this, it sounds kind of like a tradition kind of thing, like a tradition.
Yeah, that I don't know about, but
mixed use retail.
I think they're trying to. One of the big pushes I know, and you read it in there, is trying to bring jobs instead of us being, a community that people live in and go to work somewhere. It's trying to be a community where you can live here as well as work here. And, when you do that, you have to have jobs that pay to support the standard of living for the community. And that's one of the big problems in Martin County is, Martin County is a little bit more pricey than most communities from a home perspective, as well as some of the taxation. Yeah. And because of that, there becomes a discrepancy when the jobs just don't quite pay for the living. If we have nothing but fast food restaurants going up and down the strip or restaurants, a lot of times, unfortunately, the people that work in the community that they love, they can't afford to live here. Yeah. And that's one of the things I believe they've addressed in Indiantown is they're chasing that animal. I think I heard light manufacturing, which again is a signal to me as well as a lot of people that it's going to be involved in a higher wage.
No, they said heavy industrial too.
Heavy industrial too. Okay.
Good. Well, they got some stuff out there that is kind of heavy industrial.
Oh yeah.
I know the only thing that we've ever done consistently over there in the last 30 years was the manufactured golf course community. What's it called? Indianwood. Indianwood, yeah. Mm-hmm. And a lot of retirees have been there, and we've done a lot of moving in and out of there over the years. But other than that, it's just a couple of restaurants. I know FPL's out there.
Well, there's a lot of agriculture out there now.
Lots of agriculture.
And they just signed a contract to move the Martin County Fair there.
Right.
That's going to be huge.
Right.
I'm thinking about opening a shop out there, actually.
I think that's probably a good idea.
It's just a good area because in that area out there, one of my bread and butter in my business is the pickup trucks and diesel trucks.
Right.
And there are plenty out there. Out there.
You will be in diesel heaven up there.
And most people that own diesels, they have them because they're doing some form of work with it. They're not just driving around.
Right.
Yeah, people that do just drive around, but with their diesel,
it's not for show. It's a work.
It's
truck.
a real go.
Yeah.
And again, that is something that we're experts at Crown Car Care, and we pride ourselves in that. To be honest with you, so
we've talked about this in other shows, and like one of the things that we like to ask is like, what's the coolest thing you've done in your business? Like you've done a lot of cool cars. I
have.
Like in recent memory, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Like, what's the coolest car that comes to your mind that you worked on recently?
Lamborghini Espada.
Ooh, see, now that's a cool car.
That's a V12. It's the same engine as the Miura, which is a $2 or $3 million car. Espada is a big dollar car. Espada. So neat car. It's a true 4-seater.
So you do a diesel and then you go to the Lambos.
I've done timing belts, completely removed the motor on a 328 Ferrari. I've worked on Testarossas.
Nice.
I have a Rolls Royce in my driveway right now that I'm working on for a customer. I've been driving it around. I didn't drive it tonight, but I do drive them. I get to drive them.
I want to drive a Lambo one day, but I've heard tell that they're not really suited for people who are 6'3".
Yes,
They're not. And the pedals are close together.
It's made for little Italians, I think.
Well, there's but still, I would love to. I'll get a convertible. Yeah, I can stick my head above that.
Be the Marmaduke of
Exactly.
I've driven fast in Ferraris. I had a customer that had a Marlino, I believe it was, a V12 Ferrari, and an older gentleman, and he wanted to go for a ride, and he kept telling me to go faster and faster. So I had to oblige.
Well,
They had to oblige. Yeah.
customer's always right, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've just finished up a job with a gentleman that owns a person in our group, Copley's RV.
Yes.
Mr. Copley. I'm working on a 1946 Chevy pickup, mint.
That's nice.
Did a rear main seal on it. That's a big job.
Well, one day you'll get an 1884 Pontiac Trans Am
Can't wait.
in there.
Kit.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to make it talk. We're not going to do that.
Yeah. Well,
But-
good though.
We
Did you ever see what the dashboard, what they envisioned that dashboard would look like for the future, right? Because
Mhm.
Kit was kind of like a visioning vehicle, right? They had all the buttons and lights and dials.
I think we've got the Cybertruck.
we,
That's the one I want.
yeah,
That
The
truck
Tesla,
is just
yeah.
bad to the bone.
yeah.
It's just bad.
Any car that's described as an exoskeleton, it's just
Right?
Just
Right?
the wording
Sure.
exoskeleton.
Right.
It reminds me of like a
Skeletor.
man-sized praying mantis or something.
Yeah.
That's what I think of exoskeleton, because aren't insects
They
for the
are.
most part
Yep.
exoskeleton?
Yep,
Mhm.
the skeleton's on the outside, and all the gooey stuff's on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours is a combination of soft, hard, and then gooey. We're
Depends
three,
on how long.
three
but
layers.
Depends on how long we're out in the sun.
There was a Star Trek from the original series. There was a Star Trek episode where the aliens, that the life form that they had come across, referred to the humans as ugly bags of mostly water.
Yeah, sure. Or wasn't one of the movies we talked about carbon units? Weren't we?
Yes.
Carbon units.
That was the V'ger. That was the movie.
Yes. But
Voyager,
it's-
that was from Star Trek.
Yes.
But it's-
Voyager was Voyager.
Correct.
It came out of one of the episodes, though. 'cause
But that was what Voyager
one of the
was.
episodes.
No, that was actually
Voyager was the god that everyone thought it was actually Voyager, and it had the American flag. It was Voyager
Yes,
was
it had the
the,
NASA flag.
That's
on it,
right.
emblem
but
on it.
Voyager was like it created its own consciousness. If I'm
Correct.
not mistaken.
It had to became self-aware.
Yes, but
And
it was
it
from
was-
Voyager. Voyager.
Correct. Yes.
And they had an anthem that they sang. I believe was either it was the pledge or the Star Spangled Banner, but they said something that was part of their group talkie. That was one of our old anthem. I believe it was the Pledge of Allegiance that was kind of broken up.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Voyager, and then there was
Yeah.
Tribbles.
Oh yeah, trouble. That was David Gerald wrote that episode. I actually met him in person.
Did you really?
Yes, I had a very unhappy relationship with Mr. Gerald.
The little furry
So,
creatures that seem to
yes.
multiply at an unhuman rate.
They had what was referred to as multiplicative proclivities. You would
Okay.
like that.
I like
yeah,
that.
See, and so I developed. So back in the 70s, I said, I got to make money doing these things, right? So I developed a Star Trek fan club
Right.
with a bunch of kids. So I used child labor, and
There you go.
and we made a couple of hundred of these things, all handmade
Tribbles.
tribbles,
Okay.
but we gave them a Vulcan identity. We put arched eyebrows out of black felt.
Mhm.
And got some 1/4-inch foam rubber and used some special airplane adhesive and made them into the 1/4-inch foam rubber became Vulcan ears. After you-
Vulcanized ears?
Yes.
As in rubber?
They,
Vulcanized?
they were like rubbery ears. So
Goodyear was the first person who
flesh-colored,
invented vulcanization.
Yeah. Yes.
Vulcanization.
Yes. So
That's why we have the tire that we do today is from vulcanization.
exactly. Mostly plastics though.
That's carbon black is what makes the tires.
Dark.
When
yeah.
tires first came out, they were not dark like they were. They're very gummy.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't last worth a hoot.
Right.
And it was carbon black that we added to the rubber compound that it creates the wear that we have, and that's the black.
Yes.
Michelins are known for their high carbon black content, and that's why they wear one of the longest lasting tires that you can buy today is, I'm saying that in general. Now.
Right.
There's going to be
French
owned Michelin, which also is the same organization that has the Michelin approval for restaurants. You've heard of the Michelin?
No.
The Michelin restaurant. Well, that's like the
creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme, or the holy grail of if you have a Michelin rated restaurant, you have something there.
All right.
So what happened with your triple thing?
So I got a cease and desist order from Paramount Studios because I brought him to a Star Trek convention, and in fact, the character, the guy who played Chekhov,
the Russian guy,
and the guy who played Sulu, they were there. And they autographed the ears of the triple.
Do you still have them?
No, I sold them.
Oh,
but yeah, I was in the 70s.
Did you make any money?
So I was on the verge of doing.
You were on the verge of busting loose.
Correct. So they wanted 10% of my action.
Oh, really?
And so I hired a patent and copyright attorney. I says, "This is my own creation." And they said, "Yeah, okay, yeah, go with that. We think it's identifiable separate." But Star Trek owned the convention and they wouldn't let me in.
So do it at the door.
So there it is. So they said, yeah, not so much.
Do you have any of them left?
No.
A 10% cut for something like that would have been
that's not so bad.
2020 hindsight.
I can tell you it'd be a lot higher today.
Oh yeah.
2020 hindsight is always delightful.
Because then you could have gotten some sort of endorsement, perhaps.
Oh, the stars of the show love the Vulcan. I call them Vulcan vribbles, and everybody just fell in love with it because they suddenly had character.
Instead of just
a hunk of fur. Yeah.
I'm going to say the beginning of this quote, and see, Frank, if you can finish it. The needs of the many
outweigh the needs of the few.
That's correct.
Yes. Or the one.
That's socialism at its finest, right?
Yes.
Animal Farm at its finest.
Yes.
Except for a few of us, right?
Okay.
That's what they said in Animal Farm. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, except for a few of us.
For a few of us.
Right.
First break already.
The walking
Time
pigs.
just flies.
Okay. We'll be right back.
More triple talk.
Yes.
Let's do a pocket drop when we get back.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Stand back to drop your pockets when we come back.
And we are back after our first break. We managed to go through like 35 minutes of
We did.
talking about tribbles, and
We talked about all kinds of different things. And one of the things we're going to talk about right now is a pocket drop. Todd, tell our listeners what a pocket drop. Listen,
tell the co-host what a
In
pocket
the world
drop is.
of self-defense and people that are into that lifestyle of even prepping will always at any moment always have their pockets and or their person filled with, whether it be a special pen, whether it be a special light. So it's a common term. A pocket drop is what you'll see in publications, whether it be with self-defense or tactical. You'll always hear about, see famous people, whether they be in the military or in police departments, what they carry with them on a daily basis, because it is so most interesting, the different types of equipment pieces out in this world with the technology that we have. It's just fascinating. I brought a couple examples of.
Well, I'm in trouble. I'm in big.
Here's some interesting stuff
I brought.
I'm in trouble.
Here's something. I brought this Surefire, which is a big organization that's one of the first company to come up with a laser for the military for weapon systems, and they make LED lights. And this is one of their brand new pieces. It's a Surefire Stiletto, it's called, and it's a flat flashlight. It's got 1,000 lumens, 3 different settings. It has a self-defense strobe on it. It's made from a composite polymer with a machined aluminum end on it.
And you can charge it from your
USB, and
port.
I'll turn it on. And one of the patents on this light is this broad throw of the light. And if you take, you can just see how broad.
That's amazing.
If you just catch the glimpse of it, you can see how bright these are.
Yeah.
Creed is the company that's really perfected the LEDs.
Not such a great radio demonstration, though.
Yeah, not good.
It's just neat.
For the light throw.
Well,
if you're watching on
you're watching on
YouTube,
YouTube, you can see it.
Yeah.
But it's small, handheld, it's light, rechargeable, and a quality piece.
Yeah.
Another piece I brought was
Frank's going old school.
a pen made by Prometheus. And Prometheus specializes in hand lathe turned pens and writing utensils that you can choose the metal you want, any type of metal you want. And this happens to be 100% copper. So it's a very heavy pen, has a refillable inkwell or ink that you can put in it. And it's all machined by hand on a lathe. So it's that old school high quality. And just the mass of it is, I'm holding it right now in my hands. I don't know if anyone can see it on the radio, but they can hear it, but you can hear the mass is big. Yeah. And it has that cut. Everyone remember when you rubbed a copper penny or you touched Lincoln's head at a monument, your hand would always have a metallic. There was an odor to copper. I don't know if people knew that.
Yeah.
But
and it transfers. Yep.
Yeah, it transfers to your fingers.
Yeah.
But anytime you touch this pen, it reminds me when I was a kid with the copper pennies.
Sure.
Because they're not copper now.
No.
It used to be solid copper.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And it's malleable. It's a malleable metal.
It is.
And Frank, what's malleable mean?
You can reshape it easily.
Right. That's what it means. Yeah. So this is a neat pen. Prometheus.
Mm-hmm.
Prometheus, I believe, was a Greek sub-god. Prometheus was one that flew through the so Prometheus.
He's the one that gave fire to man and was tied to the rock and had an eagle eat out his liver, I think, every day as punishment.
Prometheus Bound, I think, was the name of
because
Bound.
The gods did not like it that he gave man fire. So
that would be the light.
It made them angry, and he punished him for eternity for doing that. But he loved man so much that he did that. So
Prometheus Bound.
He was bound to the rock, and then every day an eagle would, I think, eat his liver, and then it would grow back so that he could eat it again the next day.
Oh, how delightful!
The gods were not really not known for their sense of humor.
No,
but yes.
Yikes!
So what do you got now? We have high tech in Todd's pockets over here, and we go to Frank.
Well, Frank, what do you got?
Oh, I've got a really nice little. It's
that's an old pocket knife that you would have
knife.
seen at the hardware store for sale in one of those glass little cabinets.
Right. And so it's got a couple different blades, a longer blade and a shorter blade.
Yep.
And I use it for opening boxes or envelopes, things of that sort. And just 3
So
different.
usually have like a brass ferrule on either end, and that one looks like it does.
Yep. And so my son gave this to me when he was in Boy Scouts as a gift. So it's very meaningful to me.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a quality. It looks like it's a decent piece too.
It is. I don't know if it doesn't have any name mentioned in there.
I like the sentimental value.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
yes.
nice.
Well, I can just tell by looking at it. It's got thickness, and it's just a nice piece.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that's
solid brass on the ends.
Yeah.
Anyone know what brass is? That's brass. It's copper.
Yes, and tin.
Tin. Yeah, that's right. Tin gives it the less malleability and durability.
Yep. Very cool.
And what else you got? You got your keychain.
Yeah, this is a keychain, but I don't use it as a keychain. It
looks like a multi-tool.
It is really a nail clipper, and so it's given to me like 30 years ago.
Wow, so you've got there's some age to these two pieces here.
So it's got a little knife, and it's got a little nail file, and I use this a lot. It's got a little screwdriver, and I do not use this part.
You do use it though.
I do use it as a screwdriver.
It looks like there's a can opener on that thing too.
There is
rudimentary can opener.
And I don't use actually it's a bottle opener. So this would be like for your adult beverage or a
well, when
pop.
Coca-Cola used to,
Yes.
you still if you go to a Cracker Barrel, you can still get bottled soda.
Right. So you can open your metal bottle
Or a knee high. You remember
Yes.
knee high?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is easily a 30-year-old
Nice.
thing. And
So we've got two
Yeah.
prime examples of some premium old school pieces.
yeah. Well, that's the way I roll.
Good.
Very good.
I just have my car keys.
And now my keychain, you can see here's a newer style piece. This is a laser cut. It has different sizes for bolts and has a screwdriver, a pry bar, and a bottle opener. It's got
And that must be that really
and it
strong
has
metal, right?
an enforcer symbol on it from the comic book Marvel Comics.
Right.
Right. So.
That would be really cool if you can now take your flashlight, run the light through that, and then that will leave the impression on the wall.
Well, of course it would. It would be kind of doing when you were
Like
a
the
kid.
bat
you
signal.
did
Bat signal.
Exactly.
Yes.
What is it when you did all the?
Oh,
remember
right,
everyone would
right,
do all the
right.
stuff
All the
with
bird things. Yes.
Yeah.
All the,
Rabbits.
right.
rabbits.
Especially during I was the AV guy in high school. Do any of you guys remember that?
Well, I remember the film, the actual celluloid films.
Yes. Well, I was the guy. So I would, and of course, sometimes the projector would just have the white light, and the kids would always put their hands in front of the light.
Now, do you remember what you'd have to do? You had the film roll, and then it would start to do the shake. What did you have to do to the
You had to
projector?
increase the loop.
There's a thing you push down on.
Well, you're just enough younger because that thing didn't exist.
The push down thing?
The push down thing. So
All these technical terms.
yes, that's the technical term.
But you know what I'm talking about on the blue projectors.
Right. So these are the old Kodak 16 millimeter projectors, right? So what you had to do when you ran the film through the all the different catches,
You got to space it.
you had to not only space it, but you had to put a significant loop in it before it came back down.
That's right.
If you had too short of a loop, it would
Bounce.
chatter. And
But there was a piece on the projector that you could push.
Right. That would adjust the spacing.
That's right.
But that didn't exist in the projecters I worked on.
And I can remember when the film would break and we'd have to fix it. They'd always had a little repair kit that you could fix it. And if you remember also, it was a big business. It was the film service of the delivery of the films.
Oh yeah.
That was a whole.
It was a
big business.
Sure. Well, look, that's how the newsreels got delivered back in the 40s.
But you would pick it, and you would, you'd order them months in advance. The films that you needed, whether it be for science class or I can remember every Halloween
or health class.
No, health class, William.
Or driving
trainer.
Do you remember the driving?
Oh my
school
God,
stuff?
that was
my
scary.
gosh.
Oh God, you want to go out in the hallway and throw up after watching that stuff. So,
Oh, break number 2.
yes,
Is it flying that fast?
I know this day is going so fast.
We'll be right
Without
back.
coffee.
No coffee.
I know.
You keep threatening to bring in
I
coffee.
do, but I'm always running late.
When I take over the Flagler, we will have our own coffee.
Bunn, Bunn.
A Bunn, very own Bunn coffee maker. I will bring you freshly brewed Bunn coffee.
I'm in.
All right. Guaranteed. We've got a caller on the phone.
We do.
Oh my.
That never happens.
Stand by. There she is. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, it's Tamara. Just
Hi.
calling to say hi.
Oh, good. Our phone still works. I'm delighted.
Yes, and I'm getting things ready for dinner. And Max is just having a snack, which is making me think of the awesome advent calendar I got at Aldi's that's all cheese.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that sounds good, actually.
25 days of different cheeses. It's so awesome.
Oh, that does sound good.
I
Different.
was so
Wow.
happy about that. But did you hear about the guy that stole the advent calendar?
No. What
He
happened?
got 25 days.
Do you have the rim shot effect on your board, Frank?
I wish I did. I don't have it set
Oh,
up.
that's good.
That was good.
That was good.
Okay, yeah, that's my gift for the day.
All
That was
right.
good.
But I have one more that I want to share.
All
Okay.
right.
Why was the snowman looking through the carrots?
Why was the snowman looking through the carrots?
Yeah, like he was searching through the carrots.
I don't know.
Or well, he was picking his nose.
Oh, okay. I was trying to put that together and I just couldn't quite get there. I couldn't quite think of fast enough.
that's
Well,
I thought
good.
that was so funny.
That's pretty
That's
clever,
very
that
cute.
one.
All right. Very good.
Okay, so that's my contribution.
I guess you can say he was rooting through the carrots.
Yes. Oh, my
see,
God.
Frank,
Ah.
Why was this? Oh my goodness.
Frank took it to
That is
another
the
level
best.
right there. He just took it to a higher
That
level.
is perfect. Okay, we've changed the joke now. Perfect. Thank you, Frank.
You're
oh my
welcome.
goodness, I can't wait to tell that now.
All right. Good. You can keep it. That's fine. You don't have to give me credit. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for
All right.
calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Oh, we got a caller. Look at that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cute.
it's
That
nice.
was delightful. Ah,
So we're down the home stretch.
we are indeed.
What do we talk about? We got another couple minutes. Holidays are coming.
Holidays are
Getting
coming.
cold.
You're going to New York.
I'm going as are you. Yep.
Yep, we
And-
both are.
You guys going to share a plane or?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
I'm on leaving Friday morning early.
Yeah, I'm not leaving
Uh-huh.
until next week.
Then we fly back Sunday night late. We don't leave till 8:00.
But I'm looking forward to
Wow.
it. New York at Christmas is a really cool
This
place.
is why I want to bring my family.
Yeah.
They haven't experienced. We're going to ice skate down there in Rockefeller Center. I'm
Mhm.
going to try to get.
Did you make reservations?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
VIP. So we're going to be up on the observation
Yeah.
deck. too.
Otherwise, you're going to be. You might as well start standing in line now.
No.
because-
And I want to try to get in front of the Today Show and wave early. Down
There you go.
I guess that's down there.
I used to do
Yeah.
all that stuff when I lived in Jersey. Just
Mhm.
Rock Center, go skating, go to the
What's a Jersey dog? Isn't that something like a Tasmanian devil that's supposed to be out in Jersey somewhere?
no, there's the Jersey Devil.
The Jersey Devil.
The
That's
Jersey
what it
Devil,
is.
yeah. There's a rumor for not so urban because the Jersey Devil is more sort of the Pine Barrens kind of thing, the South Jersey area, but it's supposedly there's this Jersey Devil myth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
When I lived there, I used to go to a place called Turkey Swamp and Asbury Park. I used to
Yep.
go to.
Yep.
Asbury Park.
Asbury has changed a lot.
Used to go on the boardwalk there.
Mhm. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been there. Been to the boardwalk. I had a friend who played in the Stone Pony in Asbury with his band 30 years ago, probably. Jersey's, if you don't know New Jersey,
It's not what you think.
no, it's not.
Not what you think.
Most people just
it-
think of Jersey and think of Newark.
Yeah,
and
it's,
that's
it's
just-
actually the Garden State.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place,
It really is.
but it's fun. I mean, well, Freehold was Freehold's a very nice little town. Even today still, it's very quaint. A lot of quaint places in Jersey,
Yep.
but it's fun. So it'll be
I
fun.
remember it vividly.
It's supposed to be cold, I think, when we're going to be there next week.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah,
Below zero.
not below.
Yeah, above. Yeah,
below
that's right.
snow, below
Below
freezing.
freezing.
Below
yeah,
freezing.
Below
yeah.
freezing. That's what I
Yeah.
meant. Yeah.
There might be snow. So
Well,
that'd be
0
nice.
Celsius. Below
There
0
might
Celsius.
be snow. So my kids love it. My kids have been a couple of times. They love New York, and just hit the city.
I want to
live
see
on-
the Christmas tree.
Mhm.
And I've never been into Grand Central Station.
Really?
Never been there.
Oh, it's cool.
And my father's office was on 99 Park Place, which was right across the street from it.
Okay.
So his office used to overlook Grand Central Station.
All the decorations on the city. It's just a cool place. It's a very nice.
I can't wait to see it at
Yeah.
night. And I've never seen Central Park.
Never. You've never
And,
been
then-
there?
and that's where Tavern on the Green, I
Right.
guess, is.
Exactly.
And we're going to eat there, I guess,
Nice.
Friday night.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be
But-
fun. Now Central Park is. We've done
And the Rockettes. There's a Christmas Rockettes we're supposed to go to.
the Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It's always fun.
Yep,
yeah.
we have a whole itinerary planned.
Good for you. That'll be
Yeah,
fun.
Can't wait to go.
It'll be fun. It's a special place.
You have any favorite restaurants up there?
I like Carmine's. Carmine's, there's two of them. There's one I think on 44th, 45th, and one up in the 90s. And I've been to the one down by the theater by the 44th. It's great Italian food, and it's just old school, and it's just delicious.
You can never go wrong with great Italian food.
You know, it's one of the best cities on the planet. and
Right.
Some of the best restaurants in the world. It's just
My wife says the Chinese food when you go to
That's
Chinatown,
legit.
it is.
It's legit, huh?
Yeah.
It's
yes.
very legit. Yeah, there's some great dumpling places. I mean, there's some great. Yeah, it's a great city
Yeah.
for food and eating. And
Sounds exciting. You're getting me excited. I can't wait to
I'm
go.
telling you,
I can't wait to go.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it too. We haven't been in a couple of years. We went about 4 years ago. I think the last time with the family and I went all together.
And this was kind of a surprise. I planned it all without my family knowing.
Nice.
I did it all, and then I told them.
Nice. That's a lot
I
of
did that.
planning. There's a lot of logistical.
Was there a little?
Well, there
Oh,
was a travel agent involved, but
And I'm going to a Philadelphia 76ers game with my kid.
Nice.
He's taking me for my
Really?
Christmas present. Yeah, we're gonna take the train in from the city,
been there many times.
and on Christmas Day we're going to a Philly game.
I was born in Philadelphia.
There you go.
All
So
right.
haven't been there yet,
Like
but that'll be
Rocky.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun.
Go on along the water there is fabulous.
Well, he also went online and found us some old school Philly 76ers jerseys so that we can
Ooh.
blend in.
You're going to have a great time.
Blend in with the regular people and not
Nice.
stand out as
Make
like.
sure you have a Philly cheesesteak.
Oh yeah, of course. So it'll
Yeah.
be fun.
I mean, you're going to really. This is going to be cool.
Oh, New York is great. New York is great. If I won the lotto, I would be in New York a lot.
Hmm.
I'm not sure I'd live there. But
No.
I'd spend a lot of time there. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have fun if your family's never been.
We've never been.
Then you're gonna see it through their eyes, and that's really cool.
That's
I
what I
remember.
want.
I remember when I took my kids when they first went, like they're looking around. It's a
Oh,
neat
yeah.
experience to see
Yeah.
it through your kids, whether they're old or young. It doesn't matter.
12.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're gonna love it.
Well, I think it's the right age. The memory will stay in them. It'll
Oh.
burn in at
Mhm.
12.
Oh, for sure. Central Park. He's gonna love. Yeah. It'll be a cool time for you. I'm excited for you actually. That'll be a fun trip.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So, yep, it's fun.
What a great show.
Good city.
Yes.
Oh, here's something. I think we may have talked about it though a couple of months ago. Did you know they found the original Aerosmith van?
Yep.
And they're getting ready to restore
Yep.
it. The original Aerosmith.
That's from the
van.
American Pickers show.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was a great show. But
Really?
They found the original one.
It's like this old bread truck that
Yeah,
that's like
international
this-
bread truck.
Yeah, it's this hand painted whatever.
But it
it's-
looks like the guy, like the trucking guy from the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, keep on trucking. Yeah.
It's like that character.
Well, the music says we're done.
Yes.
Last show of the year, I'm guessing. Last show for me. Let's put it that way, because I'm not going to be
Right, because next week it'll be Christmas Day.
Christmas
But
Day.
Frank, we have a show Monday
We have a show on Monday.
with Mr. Deakins, a special guest who has a
Yes.
fabulous light display here. in
We're
the
going
store.
to learn about the lights.
that's right.
Yes, it'll be a heck of a light
He's my
show.
guest.
Yes.
Frank, it's been a great year as always.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Todd.
Thank you
always,
very much. Guys, for
always good to
having
share
me.
the mic with you,
Thanks for
and
having
we'll
me.
see our listeners or hear our listeners next year sometime
Yes, indeed.
with new jokes about carrots and snowmen.
And
They were
thanks
pretty
for
good.
Thanks, Tamara.
They were
thanks
pretty
for doing
good,
the
actually.
pocket drop. That was fun.
That was.
All right.
See you guys.
See y'all
Alrighty.
later.
Merry Christmas.
You too.